Hello, me lovelies. It's Ash Wednesday, and we just came back today from bringing my mother to her hip specialist at Mass General Hospital in Boston. Now, as we all may know about the Massachusetts drivers and their stereotypes, which often tend to be true, something I don't quite understand is road rage. I feel like many comedians have covered this if they're the laid-back type, but I just wonder why so many people seem to feel the need to drive as though there is someone giving birth in their car. I think, we hear on the news, oh, so-and-so delivered in the car on their way to the hospital. I think if this were happening so often as we have these people seeming to be in such a rush, we'd hear about it more in the news. And I mean, yes, maybe people have explosive diarrhea, but I don't think it's that common. I don't think people tend to look that angry. And it would make sense if they had turbojets on their car that they had to flip on, and they're just like, oh, pardon me, I need to have some space to turn on my turbojet so I can get really far really fast, like the Jetsons in the Flying Saucers. I thought we were supposed to have those around the year 2000. I remember when I was little, they showed us an electric car and said, by the time you guys are driving, these will be all that's on the road, and charging stations everywhere. Yeah, there's a few here and there, but that didn't quite pan out. As for the Flying Saucers, the last thing I've heard about with jetpacks are those things in the water that people levitate with a bit, and maybe the hoverboards, which people can't manage to stay on. So, it doesn't really make much sense to me, because so many times they're like honking and honking, and then they so angrily speed ahead, and then you go, in your sauntering, meandering way, and see them at the next stoplight, and you're calm and enjoying your journey, while they're like, I guess what they call it, white knuckling the steering wheel. I don't need that kind of stress in my life. I think life gives enough things to be actually stressed about that we need to learn to keep ourselves calm for. I don't need to be worrying about getting home 5 seconds earlier or whatever they're in a rush for. And I kind of realized that it's kind of what we do behind our computer screens. So many people say things to strangers online that they would never say to anyone face to face, whether it be a friend, loved one, or a stranger. They would probably never have the guts to say it, nor would they have the sort of... I think people just would see each other as a human and not act that way. But behind our screens and behind our windshields, we kind of act like other people aren't people and don't exist. And I think this might be why often at churches for their Halloween celebrations they ask for people to not wear masks, because I think their logic is when people have the mask on, they kind of feel like they're not themselves and they can kind of act in a different way. And I was also led to think about how, I think it was Wayne Dyer used to talk about how when you just stop rushing and being anxious about being late or getting somewhere fast and enjoy the journey, you'll often find you get there earlier than you would have if you're like, oh, gotta hurry up. And I found that so many times myself. There would be trips I would take frequently enough to really know how long it would take to get there. And when I'd be like, oh, gotta get there fast, I would end up 10 minutes later. Whereas if I was just like, look, you know what, maybe I'm a few minutes late, but I'm just gonna breathe and enjoy this, take a look at what's around me and not be under stress all the time, and I would arrive 5 to 10 minutes early. And it defies logic and I suppose physics or something, but all I know is it works, and you feel good, and you don't have your insides all tied up in a knot. So to me it just makes sense. Keep yourself breathing and feeling good and healthy, because we've only got the one life to live. Are we really going to be on a deathbed saying, I wish I got home 5 minutes earlier? I mean, if you drink enough water and eat enough fiber, whatever time you're spending in the bathroom can be quickened up and you'll save the time there. Just be healthy. You'll have the time. Then you'll have the time, more time in your life too. Stress will take time off your life. So really, you're not saving, you're losing. So be kind to other drivers. I was also thinking, in person, we're a lot more likely to be kind to each other. Like, if someone drops something, pick it up. Let someone go ahead of us. Like in the grocery store, a lot of times, if you only have one item and someone behind you has a whole cart full, a lot of decent people will just let you go. I've seen it many times. And yet, somehow, once we're on the road, no, they can't get in, etc. Now, granted, it might be a different story when they seem like they're just going to slip in without your permission. But it's funny how in the grocery store, oh, just go ahead. But on the road, no, I'm not going to let them. So, could we just, like, take a collective breath, maybe before we get in the car? Like, you know those breathalyzers that I think are used for people who have too many DUIs? They have to do the breathalyzer to start their car? Maybe we could have a collective breathalyzer that, I know they do cortisol tests for the saliva, so maybe like take a deep breath before you start your car. Like, yeah. Let's get your car started. And maybe let the car fill with some lavender or essential oil and relax while you're on the road so we can be safer and happier and healthier. Just a thought. Maybe put it to some good use. That's all for now. I love you guys.